The Galactic Council Hall was silent for a moment, then slowly filled with low sounds from many alien throats.
Oh.
The hall was huge, made of dark metal and glowing symbols. All beings, wide beings, scaled and armored creatures sat in high seats that formed a perfect circle. Each one ruled a world. Each one believed they were powerful. In the center of the hall stood one human woman. She was small compared to them. No armor covered her body. No weapon rested in her hands. She wore simple dark clothing, clean but plain. Her hands were relaxed at her sides. Her face showed no fear, no anger. She stood still, as if she was alone in an empty room. Whispers moved through the council like a cold wind. A human? Just one? A female? Some of them laughed. Others watched with curiosity. A few showed clear disrespect. To the council, humans were new, weak, short-lived, useful only in small numbers. This one was a woman. Alone, high above, the council speaker leaned forward. Many eyes focused on her. "You were summoned," the speaker said, its voice loud and sharp, "to answer for your species." The human woman did not speak. She only lifted her eyes and looked around the hall. She did not bow. She did not show respect. She simply observed. That alone caused more laughter. "She does not even know where she stands," one alien said. The heavy doors at the far end of the hall opened with a deep metallic sound. Every head turned. The alien commander entered. He was tall, his body covered in thick armor grown from his own flesh. Old battle marks crossed his chest. His steps were slow and heavy, made to show power. He had ended wars. He had crushed worlds. He was the strongest warrior the council had. Stopped a few steps away from the human woman and looked down at her. "So this is the human they sent?" he said. "No soldiers, no guards, just you." More laughter filled the hall. The woman raised her head and met his eyes. Her face remained calm. "She does not look dangerous," the commander continued. "She looks fragile." He turned to the council. "Is this an insult?" he asked. "Or do humans truly believe this female can stand before us?" The council allowed the laughter to continue. No one stopped it. The speaker raised a limb. Silence returned. "This human represents her kind," the speaker said. "She will hear our judgment." The woman finally spoke. Her voice was quiet, clear, and steady. "I am here to listen." That was all. Commander stepped closer. He was now so near that his shadow covered her. "You should kneel," he said. "This is not a place for weakness." She did not move. Her heart did not race. Her hands did not shake. She simply stood there, breathing slowly. Many in the council noticed this. Some leaned forward in their seats. "She is either brave," one whispered, "or foolish." The commander reached out and lightly tapped her shoulder with one armored finger. Not enough to hurt, just enough to humiliate. "See," he said. "She breaks easily." The human woman slowly turned her head and looked at the finger resting on her shoulder. The room felt different now. The laughter faded. A strange tension filled the air. The woman spoke again. "Please remove your hand." The request was calm, polite, almost gentle. The commander smiled. "Or what?" he asked. For the first time, the woman took a small step forward. Just one. Her eyes locked onto his. They were not angry. They were focused. Measured. She spoke softly. "You were warned." A ripple of unease moved through the council. The speaker leaned back slightly. Several members shifted in their seats. No one laughed now. The commander let out a short breath, amused. "Very well," he said. "Let us end this." He pulled his hand back and raised his arm, preparing to strike. The human woman did not change her stance. She did not run. She did not defend. She waited. And in that moment, before the first blow was thrown, before the council could stop what was about to happen, something became clear to those watching. She had come to show them something they did not understand. The commander moved, and the entire galaxy held its breath. The alien commander moved first. His arm came down with great force, fast enough to break stone. The council expected the human woman to fall. Some turned their eyes away. Sure, they were about to see weakness crushed. But the strike never landed. The woman shifted her body slightly. It was a small movement, almost lazy, but perfect. The armored fist cut through empty air and struck the floor behind her. The impact sent cracks across the metal surface. A deep sound echoed through the hall. Silence followed. The commander froze for a brief moment. He looked at his fist, then back at the woman. She was standing exactly where she had been, untouched. A low murmur spread through the council. She moved. That was fast. No human should be that fast. The woman did not attack. She did not smile. She simply adjusted her footing and faced him again. The commander straightened his posture. His amusement was gone now. His eyes narrowed. "You dodge well," he said, "but that will not save you." He stepped forward and struck again, this time with both speed and power. His movements were trained, deadly perfected through years of war. Again, the woman avoided him. She did not jump back. She did not run away. She moved close, inside his reach, where his size worked against him. Her hand touched his arm, not to strike, but to guide it away. The commander felt it. Control. His attack missed. His balance shifted. For the first time in many battles, the commander had to take a step back. The council leaned forward in their seats. No one spoke now. The room was filled only with breath and tension. "What is she?" someone whispered. The speaker watched closely, its many eyes sharp. The woman finally spoke again. "I do not want this," she said. The commander laughed, but there was no joy in it. "Right. Lies," he replied. "You came here knowing this would happen." "Yes," she said. "Did." Her calm unsettled him more than any weapon. The commander roared and attacked again, faster than before. He used his full strength now. The air shook as he moved. This was the power that had ended armies. The woman blocked him, not with force, but with timing. She placed her hand against his chest and twisted her body. The movement was smooth, practiced, almost gentle. The commander stumbled forward, forced to catch himself before falling. Gasps filled the hall. "He is losing control," an alien council member said quietly. The commander turned slowly. His breathing was heavier now. His pride burned. "You are no normal human," he said. She nodded once. "No," she replied. "I am not." She stepped closer. For the first time, she was within his reach by choice. "Strength," she continued, her voice still calm. "You believe it comes from size? From armor? From fear?" She looked around the council as she spoke. "That is why you keep losing to humans." The words struck harder than any blow. The commander snarled and lunged again, driven by anger. This time, the woman moved before he could finish the attack. "Duh!" Her hand struck his joint, precise and controlled. A sharp sound echoed as his arm twisted unnaturally. The commander cried out and fell to one knee. The council erupted in shock. Some stood from their seats. Others backed away. "This is impossible," someone said. The woman stood over him now. It's not towering, not threatening, but absolute. She leaned close enough for him to hear her. "You made one mistake," she said quietly. "You thought I was here to fight." She straightened and tightened her grip. "I am here to end this." The commander struggled, but his strength meant nothing now. His movements were slow. His power was gone. The speaker finally spoke, its voice tense. "Human," it said. "Enough." The woman did not look at it. The commander looked up at her, fear clear in his eyes. In that moment, the council understood something terrible. They had invited this, and what came next could not be stopped. The Galactic Council had seen war, had seen destruction on a scale that erased worlds. But what unfolded before them now felt different. This was not chaos. This was control. The alien commander struggled on one knee, his breath heavy and uneven. His armor, once a symbol of fear, now looked like a cage. The human woman held him with calm strength, her grip firm but steady. She was not rushing. She was not angry. She was precise. The council members exchanged uneasy looks. Their confidence was gone. They had expected screams, panic, weakness. Instead, they saw patience. The speaker rose slightly from its seat. Human," it said again, louder this time. "Release him." The woman finally turned her head and looked at the speaker. Her eyes were steady. "This ends now," she said, "one way or another." The speaker paused. No one in the hall interrupted her. Not even the oldest council members dared to speak. The commander suddenly moved, using the last of his strength. He twisted his body and swung his free arm toward her. It was a desperate attack, wild and unplanned. The woman reacted instantly. She stepped to the side and used his movement against him. Her hand locked onto his arm, and with a sharp motion, she forced him flat onto the floor. The impact echoed through the hall. The commander lay there, stunned. A wave of shock rolled through the council. "She's not using weapons," one member whispered. "She is using him." The woman stepped back and stood straight. She did not press her advantage. She allowed the moment to settle. "This is what you misunderstand about humans," she said, her voice carrying across the hall. "We do not win by being stronger." She walked slowly around the fallen commander, keeping a safe distance. "We win by adapting." Her words were simple, but they struck deep. The council listened now, not because they wanted to, but because they had no choice. The commander pushed himself up slightly, his pride shattered. He looked at her with confusion and fear. "You should not exist," he said weakly. "Your kind is soft." She stopped walking and looked down at him. "Yes," she replied. "That is what keeps you alive." She knelt slightly, bringing herself closer to his level. "You see muscle?" she continued. "We see motion. You see power. We see limits." The commander tried to stand again. His legs failed him. He collapsed back to the floor. A deep silence filled the hall. The speaker spoke quietly now. "What are you?" it asked. The woman stood and faced the council fully. "I am human," she said. Nothing more. That answer unsettled them more than any threat. Another council member leaned forward, its voice shaking. "Why send you alone?" The woman's eyes moved across the circle of powerful beings. "Because sending an army would mean war," she said. "This is not a war." She gestured to the commander on the floor. "This is a lesson." The commander growled and reached for a hidden weapon built into his armor. A faint glow appeared near his wrist. Before anyone could react, the woman moved. She crossed the distance in a single step and struck the device with the edge of her hand. The glow vanished. Sparks flashed briefly, then died. The commander screamed in frustration. The council gasped as one. "That technology was unknown," someone said. She disabled it instantly. The woman released him and stepped back again. "You continue to test me," she said calmly. "That is unwise." The commander lay still now, his will broken. The speaker lowered itself into its seat. "Human," it said slowly. "You have proven your point." The woman did not respond. "You may leave," the speaker continued. "This council will reconsider its position on your species." For the first time, the woman's expression changed, not into anger, but disappointment. "No," she said. The word echoed. "You still do not understand," she continued. "I did not come for permission." The council felt a chill move through the hall. "I came to make sure this never happens again." She looked down at the commander one last time. And to make sure the message is clear, the commander lifted his head, eyes wide. The woman placed her foot beside him, steady and final. The council realized the truth too late. This was not the end of the conflict. This was the moment it became permanent. The council chamber felt smaller now. No one moved. No one spoke. The human woman stood near the fallen alien commander, calm and unmoving, as if time itself waited for her. The commander tried to rise again, his hands pressed against the cold metal floor. Strength returned in short, painful bursts. Pride pushed him more than power. "You think you have one," he growled. "This means nothing." The woman did not answer right away. She slowly stepped away from him, giving him space. Not out of fear, but choice. "Stand," she said. The word was simple. Clear. The commander hesitated. Then, with effort, he forced himself up. His movements were stiff. His armor no longer made him look strong. It made him look trapped. The council watched closely. Their eyes followed every breath, every shift of weight. The speaker leaned forward. "This has gone far enough," it said. "Human, your strength is noted. This display is no longer required." The woman turned her head slightly. "This is not a display," she replied. "This is understanding." She faced the commander again. "You believe you are powerful because others fear you," she said. "But fear is not control." The commander laughed weakly. "Do you think control makes you strong?" he asked. "Yes," she answered, "because control lasts." Without warning, the commander attacked again. This time the council saw it clearly. There was no honor in it, no challenge, only desperation. Yu charged forward, using his full body weight, aiming to crush her beneath him. The woman moved. She did not step back. She stepped forward. At the last moment, she turned her body sideways and placed her hand against his shoulder. Using his speed, she twisted and pulled. The commander lost his balance completely and crashed to the floor again, harder than before. The sound echoed through the chamber. Cracks spread across the floor beneath him. The council members stood up now. Some shouted, some backed away. Panic moved through the room. "This must stop," one cried. The woman stood over the commander, her breathing steady. "You still do not see it," she said. She reached down and gripped part of his armor. With a sharp pull, she tore a piece free. The metal bent and broke under her hand. Gasps filled the hall. That armor survived plasma fire. Someone whispered. The woman dropped the broken piece to the floor. "You hide behind strength," she said. "We build beyond it." The commander stared at the broken armor, disbelief in his eyes. "What are you?" he asked again, his voice low and shaken. She did not answer directly. "On my world," she said. "Children learn early that the universe does not care if you are strong." She stepped back and looked around the council. "It only cares if you adapt." The speaker raised its limbs again, voice sharp. "Human, you are making enemies." The woman looked up at it. "No," she replied. "I am showing you reality." The commander tried to crawl away now, dragging his broken body across the floor. Every movement showed defeat, the council noticed. The strongest warrior they had ever trusted was afraid. The woman followed him, not rushing, not stopping. "Look at you," she said calmly. "You ruled through fear. Now fear rules you." The commander turned onto his back, unable to move further. His chest rose and fell rapidly. "You could have stopped," she continued. "You chose not to." She stood directly above him. "I warned you." The council felt the weight of her words. This was no longer about one commander. This was about power shifting. The speaker spoke again, its tone different now. "Careful, what do you want, human?" The woman did not take her eyes off the commander. "Respect," she said. In distance, she finally looked up at the council. "Humans will not kneel. Humans will not be tested like this again." The council remained silent. The woman turned back to the commander. "This is where it ends," she said. The commander closed his eyes. The hall held its breath. Everyone understood what was about to happen. No one could stop it. The Galactic Council Hall was completely silent. No whispers, no movement, no laughter. The human woman stood over the alien commander, her shadow falling across his broken armor. He lay on the floor, breathing fast, his strength gone. His eyes followed her every move, filled with fear he had never felt before. She did not rush. She did not show anger. That frightened the council more than violence ever could. The speaker slowly rose again, its voice careful, almost weak. "Human," it said, "there is no need for more force." The woman did not answer. She looked down at the commander. "You came here to prove humans were weak," she said calmly. "You failed." The commander tried to speak, but his voice cracked. You will start a war," he said. She shook her head once. "No," she replied. "I will end many." She reached down and grabbed him by the front of his armor. With steady strength, she pulled him up from the floor. His feet barely touched the ground. Gasps echoed around the hall. No one had ever lifted the commander like that. The council members watched in shock as she held him there, not struggling, not shaking. "This is the difference," she said, her voice carrying clearly. "You fight to dominate. Humans fight to survive." She turned slightly, making sure the council could see his helpless state. "You attacked because you were allowed to," she continued. "Because no one ever stopped you." Her grip tightened just enough to make the message clear. "I am stopping you." The commander tried to strike her again, weak and slow. She caught his arm easily and twisted. There was a sharp sound as his strength finally gave out. He cried out and went still. The woman lowered him slightly, then shifted her stance. What followed happened fast. One controlled movement. One final action. The commander's body went limp. She released him. He fell to the floor and did not rise. The sound of his fall echoed through the hall like a final warning. The council froze. Some stood in shock.
Ow.
Others backed away from their seats. A few stared at the floor, unable to look at what they had just witnessed. The strongest warrior in the galaxy was defeated by one human woman. The speaker's voice trembled. This was not expected. The woman stepped away from the fallen commander. She did not look back. It was inevitable, she said. She turned to face the full council now. Her posture was relaxed, but her presence filled the room. "Let this be clear," she said. "This is not about revenge." She walked slowly across the center of the hall. "This is about boundaries." She stopped and looked up at the council seats. "Humans will speak as equals," she continued. "We will not be mocked, will not be tested with violence." The council listened. Every word landed like weight. "You thought sending one woman was weakness?" she said. "You were wrong." She took a breath, calm and steady. "Sent one human," she corrected. That was enough. The speaker lowered itself fully into its seat. "The council acknowledges your strength," it said. "Your species will be reclassified." The woman shook her head slightly. "Strength is not what you should fear," she replied. "Understanding is." She turned away from the council and began walking toward the exit. No guard stopped her. No weapons were raised. The massive doors opened silently as she approached. Before stepping through, she paused. She looked back once. "Remember this moment," she said. "Because humans will." Then she left. The doors closed behind her. The council remained frozen in silence. On the floor, the alien commander did not move. The galaxy had changed. Not with an army. Not with a war. But with one human woman who refused to kneel. The doors of the Galactic Council Hall remained closed long after the human woman had left. No one moved. The council members sat frozen in their high seats, staring at the empty center of the chamber. The place where laughter had once echoed now felt cold and heavy. The body of the alien commander lay still on the floor, a silent reminder of what had happened. The speaker was the first to break the silence. "Begin emergency review," it said quietly. Several council members reacted at once. Lights changed color across the hall. Symbols shifted on the walls. Data streams appeared in the air, showing records, histories, and warnings. "This cannot be ignored," one member said. "A single human entered our highest chamber and walked out untouched." Another shook its head slowly. "She did more than walk out," it replied. "She changed the balance." Across the hall, a medical unit approached the fallen commander. After a brief scan, it pulled back. "He is alive," the unit announced. "But his combat ability is permanently disabled." That news sent another wave of unease through the council. "She spared him," one member said. "After everything." The speaker considered this. "That was not mercy," it replied. "That was a message." Far beyond the council hall, word spread quickly. On trade stations, in military fleets, on distant worlds, the story was told again and again. Each time it grew more serious. A human woman, unarmed, unarmored, facing the strongest alien commander and winning. Some dismissed it at first. Others laughed, just as the council had. But then, official signals followed. Human status was changed. Human borders were marked clearly. Human representatives were no longer summoned alone. In military schools across the galaxy, instructors paused lessons to show recordings of the council chamber. "Watch closely," they told their students. "This is what happens when you underestimate humans." On Earth, the woman returned quietly. There were no crowds waiting for her, no banners, no celebrations. She stepped off the transport and walked into a secure building, greeted by a small group of officials. They looked at her with respect, but she waved it away. "It's done," she said simply. One official asked, "Did they understand?" She paused for a moment before answering. "They will," she said, eventually. She was offered rest, rewards, honors. She refused them all. "I did my part," she said. That's enough. Days passed, then weeks. The galaxy adjusted. Alien patrols no longer crossed human space without warning. Trade agreements were rewritten. Council meetings included human voices, and those voices were heard. Still, fear remained. Not fear of attack, fear of misjudgment. In one distant council session, a younger alien asked a question that echoed through many worlds. Why her? It asked. Why did humans send that woman? The speaker answered slowly. Because she was not chosen to fight, it said. She was chosen to endure. Back on Earth, the woman lived quietly. She trained. She observed. She prepared not for war, but for the next misunderstanding. One evening she stood alone, looking up at the sky. Stars filled the darkness, each one a reminder of how small humans seemed, and how dangerous that assumption was. She thought of the council's laughter, the silence that followed. The moment everything changed, humans were not the strongest species. They were not the largest. They did not live the longest, but they adapted. They learned. And when pushed too far, they responded. Somewhere far away, a council member reviewed old records and added a final note to a classified file. Human assessment update. Do not test. Do not mock. Do not mistake silence for weakness. The galaxy moved forward with caution now, because once they laughed at a human woman, and they would never make that mistake again.